Hello everyone, and thank you for patiently waiting. I'm your host Josh from Career Map TV, and today we're joined by the Army. There will be a Q&A segment at the end of the webinar, so feel free to leave any questions in the chat box, and we'll get back to as many as we can after the presentation. So without further ado, I'll now pass it over to the Army to start their session. So off you go, guys.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul, and I'll be going through the presentation with you this afternoon. I hope you get as much information from it as you want, but please ask all of those questions in the chat boxes as we go on. So, without further ado, we will move on. So, just going to read to you the Army's policy on diversity and equality and inclusion. So, we believe in diversity, equality, and inclusion, whatever your background, whatever your sexual orientation or gender identity. We take pride in the equality that we offer. And we believe that belonging means that whoever you are, wherever you are from, and whatever defines you, you can expect respect and every opportunity to reach your full potential. So, as we move on now, let's have a look at a quick 5-minute video on the Foundation College in Harrogate.
Being in the Army means to me developing as a person, and it carries on with you for the rest of your career.
I love the Army, and I think there are lots of reasons to come here to Harrogate. The opportunities, the adventure, the travel.
To see him happy when he comes home, it was the best thing we could ever do.
Loved every step of the way. It's phenomenal. It really is.
Yeah. You'll be part of the #1 apprenticeship scheme in the country, and you'll look back on it and say, I loved my time at the Army Foundation College. My name is Peter Bailey. I'm one of the Learning Development Officers at the Army Foundation College Harrogate. Life at the Army Foundation College Harrogate is a mixture. You're always really busy, you're learning military skills, you're socialising with people. You can learn to do sports. We aim to develop your leadership, the way that you actually work with other people, communication skills.
I'm Oscar, and I'm a current junior soldier at the Army Foundation College Harrogate.
My name is Max, and I'm a junior soldier at AFC Harrogate.
I've always wanted to come into the Army. The more you look into it, and the more you find out what it's going to be like when you get here, it's like, I want to do this 100%.
The reason why I wanted to join the Army was my brother is still serving and my dad served. That made me want to join more.
You're learning things that are going to help you in your career. They make it so good and so fun, you don't actually realise that it's work.
At the Army Foundation College, days obviously tend to vary, but on most days you'll be doing a lot of lesson-based things. But you might have a military studies lesson, obviously PT, typically 3 times a week.
So it's very jam-packed, but after that first week, it's everyone's talking together, you're all getting to know each other, and then you become a bit of a family.
Progression opportunities for junior soldiers are wide and wonderful. There's loads of opportunities available. Here you have more time and more resources invested in you so that you can develop, so that you can lead and have a better career in the Army.
So my name is Lieutenant Colonel Mike Butler, and I have the huge privilege of being the commanding officer here at the college. To our most senior soldiers joined the Army under 18. So there is something about what we do here that works remarkably well, sticks, and will carry junior soldiers further into an Army career and see them achieve higher rank. We also have more time with junior soldiers here, and so we have a lot of opportunity to work on things that you wouldn't otherwise have the chance to do in basic training, particularly leadership and particularly mental resilience as well. The passing out parade here is a great day. The one adjective that describes it best is proud. The junior soldiers should rightly feel very proud. Friends and family will also be extremely proud of what their young people have achieved.
Looking towards graduation, I'm excited. Getting here for graduation now and actually passing out is a massive achievement.
My name's Hazel and I'm Max's mum.
And my name's Ray and I'm Max's dad.
Max had such a journey as well, start to finish. He did a lot of hard work before he came in. He had to do a lot before he came in, and he smashed it. The change that we've seen in Max, his maturity level.
Yeah, it's gone up.
Yeah, definitely his maturity level.
Gone up.
His confidence levels have improved.
It has been a roller coaster.
Yeah, it has.
But seeing them today here is so emotional. It is unbelievable. From when they came in as children, and they've almost come out as men. And then to see him today there with his brother as well, it's great.
Amazing. Yeah.
Oscar, he was just turned 17 when he turned up. Now he just seems to have grown into this great young man who's proud of what he does, and he's made us all so proud. I got a gut feeling that it was just the right thing for him to do, and I just felt that the discipline that he'd get from this would just do him good, and it has done. It's the best thing he could ever do.
AFC Harrogate in 3 words, I would say opportunity, development and friendship.
Army Foundation College in 3 words, I think they would be fun, adventure and friendship. At the heart of it, for me, is the values that will last a lifetime.
So we've seen a quick snapshot video there of the college, and I hope that you all enjoyed that as you went through. So, you know, lots of information there for you to go through. So what is Army Foundation College Harrogate? Well, it's a short and a long development course. So it's where we send our junior soldiers aged between the ages of 16 and 17 and a half. So the earliest age that you can join the college is after completing year 11, and you have to be over 16 years of age. Some courses you have to be 16 years and 6 months on entry, but you can go to the college. The maximum age on entry is 17 years, 5 months and 28 days. So you've got to be in the college before you are 17 and a half. There's 2 courses I've mentioned, and I'll cover those in a little bit more detail as we go on. So Foundation College Harrogate is where you will do your soldier training. And from there, once you've finished your time at Harrogate, you will then go and do your role-specific training. So that is the job that you want to do in the Army. And we will cover those in a little bit more detail as we go through. So what are you going to get up to at the college? Well, you're going to have lots and lots of fun, but also balanced with that fun, you're going to be doing some military training. So military training, it's called the Common Military Syllabus, and this is where we will teach you how to live and survive outdoors, how to keep yourself fit and healthy, how to cook your food, how to build shelters, how to operate in cold climates, so that we've got the capability to operate in all types of terrain across the world. You will also do a mixture of education. So some courses require you to have GCSEs for that role that you want to do in the Army, things like engineering and communication, but some roles don't require any education, such as GCSEs. So we require you to be at a level to gain promotion further on in your career. So everybody will do some forms of education at the college, and this will be where you'll do some functional skills in maths and some functional skills in English. You'll also be able to do ICT and some BTECs. For those of you that may be going to the college with GCSEs already at grades 9 to 4 or A star to C, you'll be able to enroll onto things like your public services courses as you go through. So you're going to do military training and some educational training, and you'll do some physical training. Don't worry, you're not going to be running 10 miles on day 1 with big large packs on or anything. You're going to be developing through a strength and conditioning program. It's very, very gradual. So you will start building up your core fitness in the gymnasium with some circuit training, some swimming, some outdoor work as well, some light jogging. And as you start to develop your physical fitness, the intensity of that training will develop. Now, this physical training is not just gym work. You will be given the ability to play sport as well during your time at the college. And finally, the other type of training that you'll be doing is resilience and leadership. So this is where we will put you into situations that you might not be comfortable. Some students may not have been abseiling. Some students may not have been rock climbing. Even mountain biking can be a little bit challenging. So we will put you into situations where you think, oh, I can't do that. But with a little bit of training and some teamwork, you'll overcome those areas where you think, oh, I couldn't do that. And this will build you character development for later on in your army career. So lots and lots of resilience and leadership training. So that is the common military syllabus and the course training program. As I mentioned earlier, there's two courses. So there's a long course and a short course. So, you know, it is a graduated training program over your time at Harrogate. So the Army's values and standards. So, you know, we have lots and lots of values in society, and I should imagine a lot of the audience this evening is from schools, where you have the school's values and we have society values as you go through. But the Army has its code of conduct, or its values and standards that we base our behaviour. So courage, integrity, discipline, loyalty, respect for others, and selfless commitment. So, you know, these are what the college is based on. I know from my own experiences that, you know, working with like-minded people, working to a set of rules, establishes that fantastic link to develop teamwork as we go forward. And one of the benefits of being at the college is that you'll be working with other people who are like-minded. They want to be working in a good environment. They want to be working within teams, and they want to do something positive, and they want to make a difference. So the Army does have its values and standards, and, you know, these are upheld both on and off duty. They need to be lawful, totally professional, and appropriate at all times. So you are expected, when off duty, to ensure that you stick to the Army's values and standards as we go through there. So let's have a little look at the education. As I mentioned before, education is provided by fully qualified civilian and military teachers. It's a little bit different. It isn't school. So the education is linked to military scenarios or situations. And this is going to help you to develop your career going forward. So if we look at the graphs there, you'll see that 91% and 100% of our students reach maths at level 1 and English reading at level 1. If we compare those to the national pass rate, you'll see that we far outstand them. And we go on to 95% of our students will achieve English reading at level 2. I mentioned earlier that, you know, and the Colonel mentioned in his video there, that a lot of our students from Harrogate go on to become junior and senior NCOs in the future. Well, not only do you have to be really, really good at soldiering and get those recommendations, but you also have to be educationally fit as well. So you will require English functional skills at level 2, and you will require maths functional skills at level 2 to gain promotion beyond corporal. So you're going to be at the college where you're going to get a fantastic opportunity to gain some qualifications that is going to enhance your chances of promotion later on in your career. Now, how do we achieve such results? Well, we've got a really, really good student to teacher ratio. So the student to teacher ratio is normally between 8 and 10 students to one teacher. Yeah, class sizes on schools that I visit is about 33 students to one teacher and a teaching assistant. So we've got smaller class sizes so that those that need some support from those teachers can gain that support. Everybody that joins the college will do a learning assessment on arrival. So, you know, we will look there and where students need some additional support. So some of our students may struggle with things like dyslexia. So we've got learning support specialists in that education centre who can give you coping mechanisms or strategies to help you overcome those learning challenges that you may have. That will aid you so that by the time that you finish the college course there, that you're really up to speed in those numeracy and literacy areas. How do we achieve these results? Well, I mentioned on the previous slide there the Army's values and standards, working together. So we set the environment, a good learning environment to support you to do that learning, and we do make it fun. So lots and lots of support there in the education space. I mentioned earlier that if you had already got your GCSEs at 9 to 4 or A star to C, that you would do some additional training. So you would do things like your public services courses. Some of you may have enrolled on the Duke of Edinburgh scheme, so you may have your bronze or your silver. There is the opportunities at Harrogate College for you to continue your Duke of Edinburgh's awards. Yeah, so to help you out to do those really, really good awards that help you to develop as a person. So junior soldier training, I mentioned there that there's 2 courses. So the intakes for our courses will always be September and March. Okay, so those that are going on to the September courses, so you'll currently be in year 11 now, or you may have finished, we will enter you onto those courses with predicted GCSEs, because we know that you won't have sat your GCSEs until June time, you won't get your results till the August. So those roles that do require GCSEs, yep, we will load you on predicted grades. For the March intakes, we will load on actual grades. So for example, if you wanted to join the Army as a vehicle mechanic in the Royal Electrical Mechanical Engineers, the current GCSE requirements are 4s as a minimum in maths and English, or C in maths and English for those areas that are still on the old grading system. So you've applied, we've got your predicted grades, you go through the assessment process, you will be loaded to training on those predicted grades under a conditional offer. If you achieve those grades, great stuff. You've got your offer of employment. So you're going to do the short course at Harrogate, and then you're going to go on and do your role-specific training. If you didn't get those grades, your recruiter would identify other opportunities for you. So no matter what course you do, there is lots and lots of opportunities. So the short course. So the short course is 23 weeks with 20 weeks of training and 3 weeks holiday. The holiday is paid. Okay, so you're there approximately about 6 months. And the long course is 48 weeks with 40 weeks training and 8 weeks holiday. How does that work? Well, the college is based on term time. So the September intake would come home around about half term, October, November, and then have a period of leave at Christmas. Everybody gets 2 weeks leave at Christmas. Those that are only doing the short course would then go on and do their role-specific training. Those that were on the long course would return to the college after Christmas, again have another half term around about end of February, March time, come home for Easter, and then they would graduate from the college around about June time. So the 2 courses are running parallel, but they've got different areas that they focus on. So the long course is mainly for those roles that are combat roles, yeah, and some logistic support roles that go in there, and it's drivers. Okay, even if you're going on the long course as a driver, you need to be 16 years and 6 months when you join that college course. Everybody else on the long course that is going into the infantry, the Royal Artillery, the Royal Armoured Corps, the Army Air Corps, you can be 16 years as you go through. Short course, you need to be 16 years and 6 months on entry into the college. So lots of information as you go through. So I've mentioned there your soldier training. Yeah, so this is where you would learn all the skills to be a soldier. And then you would do your role-specific training. Yep, so your role-specific training, that is where you will go on to start your apprenticeship in the Army. So you've done your time at Harrogate, you then go through to the supportive college that is going to deliver the educational elements of your apprenticeship. So let's stick with a vehicle mechanic for now. So you've done your short course at Harrogate, you've had your graduation parade, and then from there, you've had some leave. You would then go down to the School of Engineering in Lynham Station, which is near Swindon. You would then do all the educational elements of that level 2 engineering apprenticeship. Once you've completed all those elements and gained all of your driving licenses, you would then move to the Field Army or your first working unit. This is where you would do the work-based elements of that apprenticeship as you went through. So once you've completed those work-based elements as you've gone through, you would then be awarded the industry standard or national qualification for that role as a mechanical engineer specialising in light or heavy vehicles. Now, about apprenticeships. So, apprenticeships these days, yeah, really, really important. A civilian company, so if you're taking on, you've done your education element, whilst you're at college, you've gained, you can claim education maintenance allowance as long as your family income is at a certain level. And if you go on to your apprenticeship, your employer has to pay you £6.40 an hour. Whilst you're at the college, you're actually going to be earning over £25,000 a year. So not only are you doing some physical development, some apprenticeship development, learning some skills for life and gaining industry qualifications, you're actually getting a fantastic salary. So let's have a little look at a little bit about life at the college. So I've mentioned education and military studies. Okay, so as we go through life and as we develop through life, we all have little problems along the way, and we need somebody to talk to, or there's something that's bothering us. Well, we do have our own pastoral care and support team. So this is made up of the chaplaincy department. So we cater for every religious denomination. We also have our army welfare staff. So these are not just soldiers, but some civilians who are dedicated to give you some welfare and support. We also have the Women's Army Volunteer Service, and these ladies, again, volunteer their time to support you as you go on. So lots and lots of pastoral care and support. All of our training instructors are specially trained to support you. So if they can see through your behavior that you may be struggling with something or something is bothering you, they will give you lots and lots of support. You know, the whole emphasis is on teamwork, a team of instructors and a team of recruits to help you to reach those goals that you want to. So in the evenings, once you've completed your training, you'll have your evening meal. If you're not doing sports and hobbies, it could be that you want to go into the canteen and shop. Okay, this is where you can get yourself some pizzas, a coffee, hot chocolate, whatever you want. It'll also give you access to our game suite. Yes, we've got state-of-the-art gaming suites in the facilities at Harrogate. Where you can go, let off some steam, challenge each other to go through. So canteen and shop in the evening, and game suite. In the evenings, you'll have access to your telephones. Once you've completed your first 7 weeks, you can take things back like your Xboxes, where you can maybe link up with your friends from school who are still at home, and then from there, you can challenge them to some Xbox activities. Sports and fitness, lots and lots of sports and fitness. So alongside your conditioning courses in the first 7 weeks, after half term, you will then be invited back to try out for the sports teams. So Harrogate College prides itself. We have every sports team that you can imagine. We have our own football team, rugby teams, netball teams, hockey teams, individual sports teams, you name it, you will play that sport at Harrogate. Harrogate also has a big boxing tradition as well. So we've got lots and lots of junior boxers. If you are a good athlete at this moment in time and you're on a recognised sports programme, we are linked in with Sport England and Sports Wales. So you will be able to continue your development in that sporting arena. Likewise, some of our students like a little bit of quiet time, so they may want to spend some time in the library doing some research. It could be that you're doing some study that you want to brush up on, so opportunity for lifetime. And finally, your accommodation. Yes, you're going to be living with 4 other students you go through. Okay, it is communal living. There is communal showers and toilets. Don't worry, we do have privacy screens in there for you. Yeah, but you also have privacy screens in your dormitory. So your dormitory, you will have your own bed space, you'll have your own clothing lockers, you will have a dedicated space where you can put your pictures, a little work area where you can set your laptop up and do what you want to do. You will be responsible for keeping your accommodation clean and tidy. Yep, but that is all the parts. So life at the college is fantastic. You normally will get up in the morning at about 6:30 or so. Make sure that you've kept yourself clean and tidy your bed space. Go and have your breakfast, and then you'll go into the college activities for the day. You'll have a break for lunch. In the afternoon, you'll do some more activities, so some military study, some classroom study, some physical training, and then you'll have evening meal, and then that's it for training for the day. You get ready for the next day's activities, or go down to the gym or the gaming suite, phone home, do what you want. So evenings are free, and most Sundays are free as well. So I mentioned there week 7. I keep going on about week 7. So week 7 is after your first 6 weeks, you will do what we call a passing in parade. So this is a formal parade, and it demonstrates that you've met the basic skills to go things like passing your weapon handling tests, passing initial foot drill assessments, and some other training opportunities. So at that pass-in parade, your family and friends are invited. So mum and dad can come down and they can see what you've been doing and look at your achievements. And then what you will do is you will then go home for your half-term week, and then you'll come back to the college. Graduation parade. So at the end of training, you'll do a graduation parade. And this is to mark all of your achievements that you've actually achieved during your time in the college. Yeah. So you'll be saying goodbye to some of the soldiers that you've been living and working with at the college. They'll go off and do their specialist bits and pieces. And likewise from there, you will make new friends. So you'll be going on and doing your role specific training. Okay. It is a really big parade. You've seen on the video there, soldiers parachuting in. We normally have some VIPs there, so some very senior officers, members of the royal family have attended graduation parades, and it is a really, really big occasion for you and for your family to mark the end of your time there. So we met this couple there before, okay? So they were parents as it went on. So Max and Hazel, and their son went through the college to follow in his brother's footsteps. So we're not going to repeat what Hazel said. The feedback that I get from lots and lots of parents is that they really, really are happy with the college because they know where their son or daughter is. They know that their son or daughter is getting some excellent support and that they're doing some really, really good training and something meaningful. And they also see a difference in their son or daughter, certainly at the pass-in parade and very definitely so at the graduation parade. So, you know, some of the changes that you'll go through, you'll go from being dependent on mum and dad to being very, very financially independent and self-dependent and self-motivated. The next slide is Lance Bombardier Smedley. So Lance Bombardier Smedley, she went into the army in 2020. Okay, went through as a junior soldier, really, really enjoyed her time at the college, and her ambition now is to, after she's completed a couple of years training, learning some more military skills, that she wants to return to the college as an instructor. Now, I would say approximately about 80% of the instructors at Harrogate are former Harrogate soldiers. So they fully understand what you're going through. They've been there. They've had those hopes, fears, looking, making sure that, nobody wants to fail. So they know where you're coming from, and they will give you lots and lots of support as you go through. So, it is a team game, a team of recruits and a team of instructors to support you to get through those initial stages of your training. So what else can the Army offer you? Well, you're going to get the ability to see the world. We train in some fantastic places. We train in some not very nice places, but we need to be able to deliver military capability at home and abroad. So we will do some training in the jungles of Belize. We will do some training in the prairies of Canada. We'll certainly do some training in Kenya and other countries as we go along. At this moment in time, we've got soldiers deployed in Estonia, and we've got soldiers also deployed in other African countries as well. So you really, really will see the world. It's not just going out there to do training. You'll normally go on what we call an exercise, and an exercise is where we go through our roles in a challenging environment. At the end of that exercise, you'll normally do a week's adventurous training. I was lucky enough when I was in Canada to go into the mountains in British Columbia and do some really, really challenging whitewater rafting. That was all paid for by the Army for me. And then the second week, you normally get some time to go and explore on your own. And I had the opportunity to go to Calgary and watch the Calgary Stampede. So watching some real cowboys doing what they wanted to do. I mentioned earlier about the apprenticeship schemes. We are the best provider in the UK. We are really, really proud of that achievement. The Army has been delivering apprenticeships for over 100 years now, okay? And we are really specialist at what we do. So, yes, you will do an apprenticeship that is relevant to your role, but you will also gain industry standard qualifications, not just in your apprenticeship, but there's the opportunity to do some qualifications formalized by the Institute of Leadership and Management. Mentioned there sports. Yeah, lots and lots of sports throughout your time in the Army and adventurous training. But we also use these to physically develop you and to character develop you. Okay. Again, I had the opportunity to go to the top of Kilimanjaro on a sponsorship to raise some money for a charity, and I found it really tough up at altitude. Yeah, and I learned some bits and pieces about myself. So it's all linked in to this whole life development. Obviously, your healthcare is provided. You have 6 weeks paid holiday, and you have access to lots and lots of sporting achievements. So not just your time at Harrogate will you have free access to gyms. Every camp that the Army is on will have a gymnasium. And as I keep saying there, meeting and working with like-minded people. I briefly mentioned the salary. Okay, so new entrant pay at the minute is £25,500 per year. Okay, that is paid to you monthly, but you will have subsidised living costs. So, for example, your food charge for 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and evening meal is £6.20. So those of you that go to McDonald's, I'm sure you spend a little bit more than £6.20 on that visit to McDonald's, Subways, KFC, or other well-known providers. So subsidised food charges, subsidised accommodation charges. What does that mean to you? That means to you that you've got more disposable income in your pocket every month for you to go on and do what you want to do. Okay, as a young person, greatest achievement for me as a 17-year-old was buying my first car, and I'm sure that many of you will want to do that as well. So how does this all happen? How does it happen? Well, what you need to do is you need to visit our website. So if you Google Army jobs, it will take you to our landing page. And on our landing page, there will be a page there, register, apply here. So what you will do is you will register. So you'll put in your name, an email address, and a contact telephone number. You'll then submit that registration of that application. Now, this is the real important bit for you. So what happens then is technology works away, and then you're sent an activation email to the email address that you've used to register. Now, sometimes it will go straight into your email accounts, no problems at all, depending on your security settings. So what you need to do is, if you've registered and you've sent it off there, have a little check of your junk or your spam folders. The email will always start with RG Army Careers, and what you do then is you would hit that link on the activation email and then complete the basic elements of the application. So it asks you your full name, your nationality and residency, where you live, and then what would happen from there. Once you've completed that, you'd be sent an online medical questionnaire. Okay, please ask parents advice if you're not sure. Yeah, and once you've submitted that online medical questionnaire, by your postcode, you will be allocated to your local careers office. So your careers officer will get a fresh bunch of applications every morning, and then what they will do is they will give you a call, and it will be, "Hi, my name's Paul. I'm from the Careers Centre. I need to book you in for your career discussion or your careers presentation." Don't be scared by this. Don't be frightened. Don't be put off. It is simply advice and guidance. So you'll go into the Career Centre, where you will have a presentation that will talk to you a lot about the opportunities that are available. So 7 different career streams, 72 different roles. You won't be making your choices then and there. So you're going to get lots and lots of information on those roles. And then once you've had your career discussion, you'll be going away over the next 6 weeks or so and then narrowing down those roles to what you want to do. To support you with that, we'll be booking you to some more webinars and some visits. Now, one thing that I haven't mentioned so far is that the Army Foundation College has its open days in January. So you might want to make a note of these dates. So on the 25th and 26th of January, the Army Foundation College has its open day. Those of you that use Facebook, you will see that the Army Foundation College has its own Facebook page, and how you register for that, those open days, are on the Army Foundation College Harrogate Facebook page. Okay, so you go on, book yourself on. There's 3 tours on the Saturday and 3 tours on the Sunday, and that includes a presentation from the commanding officer of Harrogate College, a tour of the college so you can go and see where you're going to live and work, and also a look at the facilities are there, the gym, the medical centre, the mountain bike track, everything that you see, the top ropes and abseiling. So please make a note of that date. So once you've had your careers discussion, you'll do a medical review, and at that medical review, we will then get you ready for the assessment centre. Again, nothing to really get worried about the assessment centre. The teams in the careers offices are all skilled in preparing candidates to go to the assessment centre. Thousands of people go to the assessment every year, and they get that pass. And then once we've completed at the assessment centre, we would be loading you to either the short course or the long course at Harrogate in the September or in the March. So that's how to join. It's as simple as that. So don't hang about. You'd need to be aged 15 years and 7 months to submit the application. If you're on here and you're currently in year 12 or year 13, again, submit the application, and we can look at other areas that you could join through the sixth form scholarship scheme, where you go on to potentially be an army officer. So, been waffling on for a little bit of a time now. So, just some quick questions before we get into the Q&A. I want to leave plenty of time for the Q&A. So, what does the term timetable look like? I've mentioned there, it's based around the Yorkshire school holidays term. So, yes, you'll be off at Christmas. Yes, you'll be off at at Easter. You'll have autumn, spring term, and spring half term, and May half term for the long course. Yeah, and you'll have a little bit of leave. Yeah. Is Harrogate a good place for women? Well, we've read the quality statement. It is a gender fair organisation. So yes, it is. Yes, it really, really is, because it builds lots of confidence. Mobile phones. I know that these are really, really important to you. Well, you're not going to be walking around with your mobile phone permanently in your hand at Harrogate, but you will have it in the evenings. You'll have the opportunity to phone home, phone friends, do what you need to do. And you'll also have the opportunity for mum and dad to send in parcels for you, some chocolate cake, whatever they want to send in for you. If I change my mind at Harrogate, well, when you go to your careers office, you'll be signing a parental consent form for recruiting activities, and then your parents will sign a consent for enlistment, but you are enlisted on your parents' consent until you're 18. At any stage up to the age of 18, you can leave the army. I've covered pay, lots of disposable income, and can I come and visit? Well, yes, the open days I mentioned there, 25th and 26th of January. Please, please, please book early. Great event for you to actually go up and spend some time at the college. The tour is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and you get the ability there to meet the team and see the facilities that are there. So I hope that has provided some really, really useful information for you. I'm now going to move on to the Q&A session.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you very much for that. So yeah, as rightly said, please be, chucking your questions in there. Please don't be shy. We've got plenty of time to get through as many as we can. While we are waiting for them first couple of questions, I do have a couple in my head, if that's okay for director you guys. So yeah, the first one is, and I think you did answer that during your presentation, but I always find it good, just to reiterate, is in terms of that kind of support while an individual is going through this process, because I can't speak for everybody else, but I know that I'd be feeling quite intimidated and maybe sometimes quite lonely as well. I am quite a homebody. So is it okay if you could just reiterate that kind of what kind of support an individual will get going through the process, if that's okay?
Yeah, no problems at all, Josh. So all of our training teams undergo some specialist training prior to them taking up their post at Harrogate. So they're trained to identify what we call triggers. So this could be either some behavioural, some students may not be eating, or they've been very, very keen and now they've dropped off. So the first port of call would be a little quiet word with something. Hey, how's it going? Have you got any problems at all? Do you need to have a chat with me? Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind having a little chat, and it would be done privately. It wouldn't be done in front of everybody. And if a chat will suffice, that's not a drama. That's what we'll do. If we need some specialist support, we can refer to the chaplaincy. So commonly known as the padre in the army, and they are very, very wise with words to wisdom. Everybody goes through challenges and a few problems, particularly 16 to 21 years of age. And then if need be, we can also get, our army welfare teams involved. It could be that there's something going on at home that is causing distraction. We could arrange a home visit. I'll give you an example where this year I had 2 twins that joined. Now, I'd never known that twins didn't like being apart. I just thought they were like normal brothers. I couldn't be in the same room as my brother for more than 5 minutes. But the 2 twins, they joined. They were in separate training platoons, but they were pining for each other's. So that the instructors noticed that they were, a little bit off form, and arranged for them both to go have a coffee in the evening together. Great stuff. So again, our teams are specially trained to support everybody whilst they're at the college.
Amazing. Thank you very much for that. I see that Cameron's popped up a question. They say, are you able to do engineering apprenticeships at AFC Harrogate?
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, Harrogate is where you will do your soldier training. So engineering is really, really big in the Army. So we have mechanical engineering, we have civil engineering, and we have cyber engineering. So you would do the short course. So you do the 20 weeks with 3 weeks holiday. Then for mechanical engineering, you would go to the School of Engineering in Lynham Station, which is near Swindon. If you're doing civil engineering, you would go off to the Civil Engineering College, which is in Chatham, which is down in Kent. And if it was cyber engineering, you'd go off to the School of Royal Signals, which is in Blandford. That is where you would do the role-specific training. So soldier training at Harrogate, and then role-specific training at one of our specialist colleges. You would then do the work-based sign-off of that apprenticeship at your first working unit.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Max, with the next questions, can students with ADHD join?
Okay, so that is a medical question, and medical questions, they are very, very complex. So everybody should apply, put your application in. The Army medical teams, along with your GP, will look at your cases individually, and they will see whether you can join, yes or no. So it is a massive area, but let's let the medical professionals make those decisions.
Yeah, no, perfectly understandable. Thank you. So the next question is: someone says that they're from Zimbabwe. They're wondering if they're able to join the Army.
Again, the Army is open to overseas candidates with UK dependency or Commonwealth. Again, what they should do is apply. The nationality and residency team will do those checks very early in the application, so it won't be that you go right the way through. Let the nationality and residency teams do those checks, but yes, they should apply.
Yeah, perfect. And I think I'm seeing a bit of a theme here. So basically, if you have any questions about signing up, the best thing to do is, just go for it and see where you can get and kind of speak to them. Facilities out there that are obviously going to be able to help you, kind of point you in that right direction. Would I be correct in kind of stating that?
Definitely so, Josh. So just by coming to see us, you're not committing to joining. You're simply coming in. You're getting to experience talking to soldiers, looking at the opportunities, having time to look at those opportunities, attend some webinars. You're certainly not committing yourself to that contract as you go through. One of the things that I forgot to mention on the medical question there, Josh, was braces. So a lot of our students think, it says here you can't join the Army with braces. Well, Harrogate College, you can join with braces. Again, you will be required to provide a copy of your treatment plan, but as long as those braces or retainers and your treatment has been completed by the time you finish Harrogate, you can go to Harrogate College. But you would have to have the treatment during your half-term holidays or Christmas holidays, whatever.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm just quickly reading through the questions, and Tracy's asked about fitness, and I suppose this was kind of in my head as well. I wouldn't say I'm, more athletic than anybody else, but I do like to kind of keep myself a little bit fit. Is there an assumption from when you are starting that process that you already are, a little bit fit and you are quite active, or is it more so when you join the procedure, for the lack of a better word, are you kind of shown the ropes and kind of expected, to kind of pick it up as you go along, if that makes sense?
So part of the assessment centre process is that we will look at your individual core fitness. So each role has a different level of fitness. So parachute regiment, those are among some of the elite soldiers in the British Army. They have the highest level of physical fitness on entry, right down to musician, who has some of the lowest levels of fitness. And that's not because they're different types of soldiers. It means that their role requires a different level of fitness. So when you come into the Career Centre, part of the presentation is the fitness standards. So the fitness standards that we do, so we do the multi-stage fitness test or bleep test. Most people have done that at school, where they will have done the 15-metre bleep test. So you will do the bleep test at the assessment centre, but during your careers presentation, we will open that up to you. You will then be booked onto webinars for some fitness support information, and that includes diet and nutrition, the type of exercise that you should be doing to support reaching that multi-stage fitness test level that's required at assessment centre. You have to throw a 4-kilogram medicine ball. Again, the highest level is 3.2 meters, and the lowest level is 2.8 meters. So the final exercise that you do is a mid-thigh pull. This is done on a piece of apparatus where we are measuring the strength in your lower back and your legs, calf areas, hamstring areas. So once the student comes in, has a chat with the careers advisor, we talk you through the fitness levels, we then put you onto some fitness support sessions as well. We do have some partnerships with other organisations where you can go and get some fitness support. When you join the Army, you are going to go and do a structured development training program to support you to get to the levels of fitness that are required by the time you leave the college. You're not going to go in on day one, have a 40-kilogram backpack and be running up mountains, okay? It is a development course, so it's 16 to 17 and a half year olds still developing, still growing, bone structure still going, so there's lots and lots of science that's gone. So nobody should be fearful of the fitness requirements. We will support you to get there.
Yeah, perfect. And I suppose that loops back to, again, what you mentioned earlier about if you've got any questions, just, start that application process. As you said, you're not committing to anything. Start them conversations with people, and then you can kind of see what the best direction or any kind of changes or anything like that. Again, just looping back, to that application process, if that makes sense, and if that's fair to say.
Yeah, you can start the process. We can do visits, we can do webinars, we can do one-to-ones. You can leave the process at any time. It might not be for you at this stage. It could be, Josh, that you want to do that job in mechanical engineering, and come August time, yes, you've got the English level at 9 to 4, but you've dropped a grade in the mathematics. Well, the first thing that I would say is, look, you want to be a vehicle mechanic. Let's go back. Let's do a resit. We can look to come into the March intake. The Army will be here until you're 36 years of age. For some people, it is a good start in life. One of the things that I didn't mention there is that obviously everybody that's there under the age of 18 can leave at any time up to their 18th birthday. You're getting a 12-year contract. You're committing yourself to serve 4 years of that contract from your 18th birthday. Some people will do a full career. Some people will do a short career. If you're doing a short career, you're getting some qualifications and some skills that's going to help build your character for wherever you go in life's journey. So just come in and see us. You're not committing yourself. We're not going to send special forces through your window if you decide that you're going to leave. All we want to do is get the message there. Have a look at the opportunities. Please, please, please bring mum and dad to the presentations with you. And then from there, let's have a look at what we can offer.
Yeah, perfect. Amazing. And I suppose this is a really good way to tie in Gracie's question. Now, in terms of, when you do want to start that process, I imagine that most people have a kind of an idea or a picture of where they want to go. Gracie says, what happens if you wanted to join, but you don't know what to do in the Army?
So this is where we spend a lot of time on the opportunities. So every candidate that comes in will get exposure to the 7 different career employment groups. From there, what we do is we send a PDF that we call the decision tree. So the decision tree is full of QR codes that take you to the page on the website. From there, you can explore via the website. You can have a look what that role involves. But we also have our ambassadors network. So let's just say that Gracie wanted to be a chef. Okay. So, yeah, Paul, I want to be a chef. Okay, great. Took you through the process. Yeah, but I'm not really sure the benefits of going in through the Army or going in through my local catering college. Okay, great. Well, let me link you up with this soldier who's actually a chef. they're not part of the recruitment process. They are soldiers that are doing that job. So that soldier could speak to Gracie and say, yeah, I went through the training package. I got my City and Guilds in hospitality food production services. I started off initially at level 2. I've now moved to level 4. My job in the army is I'm actually a kitchen manager, and I work early shifts, mid shifts, or late shifts, and then I do some corporate type stuff in the officers and sergeants' messes. Oh, brilliant. That's what I want to do. So again, you know, we've got that ambassador network where we can link everybody to chat to soldiers that are doing that specific job.
Yeah, perfect. And I suppose, again, it is tying that back to, you know, just start that dialogue and see where it takes you. Because I know personally for me, if I was joining such like the army, it's such a big image especially in the UK. I'd be going into a dead end after dead end, thinking about, you know, what should I do? And the best thing you can do is just ask the question, as you rightly said. So that's perfect. Thank you very much. So we have got a couple more minutes just to run through a couple more quick questions if we can. I'm just having a look now, see if there's any we've not answered. So Sarah's asked, is there anything fire service jobs related?
Ooh, well, everybody in the army is a trained firefighter, because guess what? We need to be putting firefighters out, but we don't have our own fire service. Okay. The only service that have their own firefighters are obviously the Royal Navy, because they need to fight fires on ships, and the Royal Air Force. They do have some fire roles as they go through, but in the army we don't have a fire service of stuff. We rely on the Defence Fire Service, but we're all trained in basic firefighting. Okay. I had the opportunity during an industrial dispute to be driving around in what's classed as a green goddess to give some support to the local community in case there was fires. But no, we don't have our own fire service.
Perfect. And I suppose finally, Gracie's asked, what about dog handling?
Okay.
Just as a into that one.
So dog handling, you can't go into dog handling via Army Foundation Harrogate College. However, you can join at 17 and a half. So my advice there, start the process, get through the medical process. Let's make sure we can join. And then post-school, what I really, really recommend, and I can't emphasize this enough, is let's go to a further education college and do some animal welfare related courses. So the animals in the army, yeah, they are not domestic pets. They are working animals. I'm from a farming community, and yes, you know, the border collies that we have, yes, we look after them. Yes, we make sure that they're well looked after and treated correctly, but they're working animals. They live outside. They don't come in and sit on my couch and I pat it on the head. Okay. So our horses and our dogs, they are military working animals. But to get yourself ahead of the game, have a good time at school, but get onto that further education course, animal welfare based.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that. So we are just about to run out of time. So I do apologise to the people, you know, that we haven't got around to in terms of the questions. But what I'd like, Paul, is if you could just give us kind of like a closing statement, maybe a couple of words, a couple of sentences, if that's okay. Okay. So, you know, it's been great to be with you this afternoon. The Army Recruitment Services, we're all really, really people. We want to help young people to benefit through our own experiences. My personal experience is I joined the army many years ago at the ages of 15. I came off a very, very rough council estate, and through my time in the army, I developed, I gained skills I've seen all around the world, and I'd just like for everybody else to have at least the opportunity to explore what the army can offer. If you don't want to join, that's fine, but come and have a look at what we can offer. The army will always be here for you. When you come into the careers offices, you can guarantee a friendly, warm welcome that will not be pressurized. You are not joining
by making an application. You are simply gaining some information. But I wish you all the best for your future careers, whether that be in the Army or wherever you decide to go.
Perfect. So yeah, I'd just like to extend a thank you to the Army for joining us today, taking us through your presentation and answering as many as we could questions as insightful as you did. So thank you very much for that. I hope everybody did find it useful. If you did miss anything, this was recorded and will be on our YouTube in the next coming week. So that's Career Map TV. So yeah, thank you very much for joining, everyone. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Thank you. Bye-bye.